17, I just turned 17, and we became a couple, so love's dream. And that just continued on. We ended up going to the same university course together, and we thought, well, let's get married in our second year, as you do. And then in 2012, our daughter came along, Isabel. It was around September 2014 that we found out we were expecting baby number 2, Elliot. And yeah, things were just going really well. It was running up to Christmas time, so we were looking forward to a nice Christmas break together. And then, completely out of the blue, Craig died. So I arrived home from a driving lesson on a Saturday morning. It was the 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas, and found him dead in our house. It was sudden death. Thankfully at the time, the community response was huge, and people just got around me, and I really did want for nothing. And then there were some other things that appeared, namely when my minister, John, approached me and said, look, we've got something in place here within the church that can help you.
The whole reason behind the society originally was to show compassion and care to children and their families. That's spanned over now 150 years. There's a wide range of situations of need that we're attempting to make a positive difference in terms of finance to those families. Bereavement, separation, divorce, single parenthood, disablement. Sometimes a parent has been in long-term hospital care or prison.
No idea what happened to him. It was so confusing. It took a long time even for it to be established what had happened to him. And there were no symptoms, no warning signs, nothing at all. And of course there I was, I found myself pregnant with a 2.5-year-old daughter to look after at the same time, and just so much confusion, no idea what was going on. So I suppose for me the saving grace was that he didn't know what was happening to him. It was very sudden. But for me then I was left with, what now?
We work through the ministers of the congregations in the Presbyterian Church in Ireland, and should the minister see a need of a family which we call to be under the pastoral care of this congregation, then the minister recommends that family to the society. And I must emphasise, we don't make any value judgment on the circumstances. It is good enough for the governors of the society for the minister to have recommended that family or child or children to the society for help, and that's simply what we do.
So when Minister John approached me, it was very, very soon after Craig died. It was probably in the sort of days and weeks after, and explained to me that within the Presbyterian Church that we have this society that supports people in my position. So he really kind of took care of everything for me. He said, there's not a lot of paperwork to do. I filled in one form, and he even said, if you need to have let me know when you just fill in this and hand it back to me, and I'll fill it all out for you. And that's exactly what happened. I just left it in his hands, and then he appeared with a cheque and said, here's how it's going to happen from now on. There was always this phrase that would come to my mind, and maybe it sounds a bit crazy, but it's like, it took the edge off, and that maybe is a bit of a strange thing, but just knowing that there was that kind of consistent support. I suppose with me being self-employed, it can be a very stressful way to live, and it was like that before Craig died, but we did it together. And I suppose for me, knowing that this is coming in, I really do see it as it's provision for the kids, and it's just knowing about the costs of looking after them throughout the year, and it's just that sense of relief, that's taken off my shoulders, and I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Every governor's meeting, I was always at pains to say to the governors, we're the ones who have the privileged end of the society, in the sense that people up and down Ireland contribute. It's managed by governors and others, and we are the ones then who go out and meet the families and take money to families who are in difficult. And so everything comes through ministers. And I'm saying one of the most privileged things you ever can do is go to somebody's house when they're in difficult, take them a cheque or take them checks and say, that's from the Presbyterian Children's Society as it is now.
I just find it such a relief, to know that this is here, and it's even things like at Christmas time and then summer, there's a little additional amount which covers the likes of Christmas presents and ordered school uniforms. And now as my daughter is at that kind of school age, even just knowing that even if times get really, really hard, that this is here, and it's just that sense of support and relief, I suppose, that. And I guess for me that's what church is all about. If I was just out there blowing the breeze on my own and there was nobody to kind of look out for me, I never really needed anything. I always like to think of myself as someone who liked to contribute. And then when the tables turned and I became a vulnerable person, that was really hard for me to kind of get on board with that. It was quite a humbling experience, but it was kind of transformed me, and even the way that I think about our big Presbyterian church and how beneficial it actually is.
So we're in a great site here in Newcastle in front of the street, so we decided to have a coffee morning and open it to the community. So we've done it 2 years in a row, and it was a great success. I think we've raised about really £900 each time. And then we put envelopes out in the church as well. I think people are incredibly generous. Individuals from churches, from fundraising events, and we discover sometimes that people will give because they remember their grandmother or somebody in their family was supported many years ago. The whole thing is confidential, so you may not know if there's somebody you know now being supported, but we're really dependent on the goodwill and the generosity of the Presbyterian family.
If I could speak to the contributors, I would certainly say thank you. I suppose just for me personally, it has had such a positive impact on my family, and it has really helped us in so many different ways. And yeah, I'm just very, very grateful for the contributors and people who are willing to, just offer that up and let it be distributed wherever it needs to go, because I know that there are so many people who are directly affecting my life who I've never met before from all across Ireland. I guess it's all being, collected centrally. So yeah, I love that. I think that's the way church should be.
It's a beautiful thing whenever we can support one another, and that's what the Presbyterian Church is about. So it gives you a little insight into one little scenario in the life of one family and how beneficial it is. But that's what that little envelope is all about. So if you give, that is great, thank you. And if you haven't thought about it before, please get one from Alan. And if you contribute, just distribute it. Simon's going to come and bring us the scripture. And you might get like that. There you go. Luke chapter 1. mercy extends to those who fear him, from generation to generation. One point of the are scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. Brought then rulers from the thrones, lifted up humble. He has filled the hungry with good things. He has sent the rich away empty. He has helped the servant Israel from every merciful. Abraham and his descendants forever, even as he said to our fathers. Mary stayed with Elizabeth for about 3 months.
Thank you, Simon. So I love musicals. I don't know about you, but just love musicals, whether it's on film or whether it's going to the West End or to Broadway. I frequented Broadway. They're in Belfast. But musicals are great, so I'm going to have a little quiz. I'm going to show some pictures, and I want you to tell me where these are from. Bobby at the back of them all right, except for one. We'll see what you think. What musical is this? Ladies, yes, in Israel. It's really good. Yes, and you know any songs from it? I said to John, we're going to have a quiz this morning. I'm going to sing the songs and see if they know what musical they're from. I thought, oh, I'm joking, I'll just for the records. Where did this be from? You're very educated people. The band, yeah, okay. Number 3. Oh, you've all gone quiet now. Sorry? No? Sorry? No. There's a slight clue in the wording at the bottom where you see an S-H-A-K. It's the beginning of something that's going to